Hello there, this is Mr. Rusty, also known as the Candle Man. I am currently testing out some features on an app that I downloaded recently. And while I am testing out these features, I will just go ahead and make a full-on video. If I can go ahead and hold this device without dropping it or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and allow this recording to flow. Just kind of imagine that you are walking with an old friend, good old Mr. Rusty, in a park, just kind of hanging out and walking by a happy little tree. And maybe that happy little tree has a friend. Let's give him a friend. There. Good old Bob Ross. I always enjoyed Bob Ross, mainly because of his kind of soothing voice. Um, some of the episodes he's kind of obnoxious, but most of the time I always just enjoyed watching his videos because you can be good and stressed out, and his voice was just so nice and soothing and just real relaxing. It would just kind of alleviate some of the tension. It was totally awesome. And so that's what I kind of hope to do with this video. Just kind of have a relaxed talk about whatever I want to or need to talk about. What's going on with my diet plan, what I plan to do with my diet plan, as well as other plans for the future. So, first of all, I do have for this video an image of my obnoxious bright orange running shoes with my Garmin watch, and that tracks the speed that I am walking or running and the distance that I go, as well as an MP3 player that I use while running. Though I will be honest, it has actually been a while since I've gone for a good quality run, mainly because it has gotten so hot. And I have this wonderful intention every morning to get up in the morning and go for a run. But the alarm goes off. I click off the alarm. And I think, okay, I'll get up in a little bit. And usually I don't get up. There's a few times in the month of June that I did actually get up bright and early, and I went for a nice little run, and it was awesome. But thus far in July, that has not happened. I don't know why exactly. Actually, I have a theory as to why, and I think the theory is because I was definitely cheating on the diet plan way too much, to the point where I was reintroducing certain additives to the diet plan. Uh, well, there was no diet plan, but I was reintroducing certain things into my body that my body was without for a while, and it just kind of counteracts everything that I want. So right now I'm getting back on track, and I'm going to further edit my diet, and I don't know how smoothly it's going to be. One thing that I would like to do is eliminate all caffeine from my diet. Reason being is I've read so many articles, as well as I've also watched so many videos that basically is telling me the same thing, and that is to eliminate caffeine. Mainly for two reasons. Reason one is it kind of aids in stress. and maybe I phrased that wrong. It actually helps cause stress. So there is more of the cortisol present when there is caffeine, which isn't necessarily bad, but if you're already creating plenty of cortisol from um, other stresses, that extra cortisol caused from caffeine isn't helping matters. So, for reasons that I have a tendency to create plenty of my own cortisol already, um, the extra cortisol caused by the caffeine isn't something that I need. Something else is sleeping. If I want to be less of a night owl and more of a morning lark, more of an early bird, I need to start going to bed at an earlier time so that I can wake up at an earlier time. Something that I maybe could do with the morning jog is go out and just run like 2 miles and then uh, go back home and sleep for a couple hours. Maybe that's something that I would like to do. Maybe that's something that I want to do. Um, and I'm just kind of brainstorming as I'm making this video. So bear with me, I guess. And I thank you for listening thus far. Um, but yeah, without the caffeine, it should be easier for me to go to sleep. What I've learned is that if I have anything with caffeine in it, even in the morning, but most especially like in the afternoon or whatever, if I have something at lunch, the caffeine is still going to be present well into the night. So even if I can get myself to go to sleep at a decent time, 10, 11, midnight, if I get up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom, the caffeine is still somewhat active in the body. And for that reason, it might be harder for me to go back to sleep. And I've actually experienced this where I have gotten up and then, I had good intentions to go back to bed, but I was just kind of wide awake. So then I, just click on the YouTube and watch some videos thinking, well, maybe I'll just kind of fall asleep watching a video. But I put on this big long 2-hour seminar and I'm still wide awake at the very end of the seminar. I'm just like, well, that didn't work. And I've also done the same thing where I just kind of, turn on a lamp and I start reading a book thinking I'll just read a chapter or two and, I'll get tired and I'll just fall asleep. But that never happens. I will read maybe 6, 7 chapters and I'm still wide awake. And then I go try to do something else. It's sleep can be hard sometimes, and a part of it is insomnia is very much something that kind of runs in my family, or at least that's the way it seems. So I have that issue, but ultimately I think that the caffeine removal will aid me. Something else that I want to eliminate from my diet is dairy. I was actually starting to do this last week, and I was pretty good at staying away from dairy I stayed away from cheese, I stayed away from milk, and I stayed away from ice cream until um, today, or actually, it's really early in the morning. So I should say Saturday. I that was kind of a cheat day, and I had a nice tall glass of milk. I had an ice cream cone. I had some cheese. I had a piece of cheesecake. And so today was definitely a cheat day, but I will be eliminating completely all of the dairy come Monday. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to do with eliminating the caffeine. Um, I don't know if it's going to be all at once or not. So I'm going to do for sure the dairy first and then the caffeine second. So it might be removing the dairy from the diet this week and then eliminating the caffeine next week, um, with the intention of getting ready to eliminate the caffeine while this week is going on. That's kind of what I was doing last week with the dairy. I was kind of prepping myself to have no dairy. So I was cutting out quite a bit of the dairy, but I allowed certain dairy products to remain. Um, but yeah, Monday, no more dairy, with going into a transition to eliminating the caffeine. So that's my plan. Um, and hopefully I can start using those running shoes for running early in the morning, getting my 2 miles in, maybe more, and just getting a really good start on the day. I figure if I'm able to get some decent adrenaline and endorphins flowing, I really shouldn't need any caffeine to keep my day going anyway. So I might have a moment of withdrawal, but I'll just go ahead and continue on my blog, Watchful Red Crown, on how I'm doing with eliminating these food items from my diet and how I feel. I might even choose to make some videos, but for me personally, it is easier for me to actually blog. So blogging has kind of become my flagship at this point, but I will still occasionally make a video. So I thank you very much for listening thus far. I wish you the very best of luck with your personal weight loss goals, your personal fitness goals, as well as other ambitions in your life. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye bye.